Salam Sejahtera and a very good morning. Today is Saturday, the 1st of June, 2024, corresponding to the 23rd of Zulkaedah, 1445 Hijrah. And this morning, we will be witnessing the 63rd anniversary celebration of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces right here at the marching field of the Penanjong Garrison in the Tutong district. My name is Amy Cheong, and I'm your commentator for this live broadcast. The Royal Brunei Armed Forces, or RBAF anniversary, is a special day to celebrate and appreciate serving as well as retired Royal Brunei Armed Forces personnel and their families. At this very moment, we have a bird's eye view of the marching grounds of the Penanjong Garrison. Now, the anniversary marks the formation of the Brunei Malay Regiment, which was on the 31st of May, 1961. Upon Brunei's independence in 1984, the regiment was renamed to the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. We'll find out a little bit more about the history of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces as we carry on with the commentary later on. At this very moment, we are awaiting the arrival of His Majesty Sultan Haji Hassan al Bolkiah Muizzuddin Wad Daulah Ibni Almarhum Sultan Haji Omar Ali Saifuddin Sa'dul Khairuddin Sultan Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam, the Minister of Defense and Supreme Commander of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. In attendance this morning are members of the royal family, Pangeran-Pangeran Kshatriya, cabinet ministers, members of councils, deputy ministers, ambassadors, high commissioners, members of the Legislative Council, and heads of government departments. This year's Grand Parade is participated by a total of 951 military personnel from major units of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. That is, the Royal Brunei Land Forces, the Royal Brunei Air Force, Royal Brunei Navy, Special Forces Regiment, the Combined Women's Army of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, flag bearers from the 1st Battalion of the Royal Brunei Land Forces, Royal Brunei Air Force, and Royal Brunei Navy, and the Royal Brunei Armed Forces Band. All these military forces play a crucial role in defending the sovereignty of the Sultanate while supporting the nation's philosophy of Melayu Islam Beraja, MIB, or Malay Islamic Monarchy philosophy. As we can see on screen at the moment, that is the logo of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, and below that, the logos of the various segments of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. Now, the theme of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces anniversary this year is Bersama Menjayakan Wawasan Negara, or Together in Accomplishing the National Vision, which is similar to previous years. This theme is considered still relevant to the commitment of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, which will always support the national defense aspirations as stated in the 2021 Defense White Paper, drafted based on the goals of Wawasan Brunei 2035 or the Brunei Vision 2035. The theme also continues the theme of this year's National Day celebration, which was Achieving the National Vision, as it aligns with the role of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, which is to support the holistic progress and development of the country by ensuring a safe and peaceful environment through effective defense and security. As we can see on screen at the moment, members of the public, including family members of serving Royal Brunei Armed Forces personnel, have gathered right here at the Penanjong Garrison to witness this very important milestone in the Royal Brunei Armed Forces history. That is the celebration of the 63rd anniversary. Now, I'd like to touch a little bit on the logo of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces 63rd anniversary, and it's designed in a circular shape with a heathered gray background surrounded by the colors of the national flag of Brunei Darussalam, that is yellow, white, red, and black. The heathered gray background signifies the development of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces in terms of defense diplomacy relations and the unity of national defense that has been achieved. This year's celebration logo signifies the Royal Brunei Armed Forces' 63 years of existence and symbolizes the continuous development and steadfastness of the military units, always ready to defend the sovereignty, peace, and security of the nation. This year's celebration is divided into 4 segments. Segment 1 will be the Grand Parade, which we will witness this morning here at the marching field of the Penanjong Garrison. Segment 2 is the Solidarity Jump, taking place this morning at the Royal Brunei Armed Forces Training Institute, also here at the Penanjong Garrison. This is a brand new segment, and the Solidarity Jump involves representatives of Special Forces parachutists from 11 friendly nations with defense ties to the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, namely Australia, Bahrain, Jordan, South Korea, Malaysia, Pakistan, the Republic of Indonesia, the Republic of the Philippines, the Republic of Singapore, Thailand, and the United Kingdom. A total of 29 Special Forces parachutists, 16 combined parachutists from members of the Special Forces Regiment of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, as well as members from the 31st Squadron Parachute Jump Unit and Tactical Airborne Unit will conduct jumps from a height of 10,000 feet from C-295 aircraft and land on the Royal Brunei Armed Forces Training Institute football field. This is the first ever solidarity jump involving special forces being held in Brunei. And it's an event like this that will further strengthen defense diplomacy by recognizing the value of cultural ties and as part of indirect operations that will enhance stability in the global security arena. Segment 3 of the celebration is a defense exhibition. The segment showcases 2 exhibition sections consisting of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces Capability Exhibition and Defense Industry Exhibition, with the theme Defending the Nation Together, Enhancing Integrated Land Operations, aimed at enhancing national defense integration among the Royal Brunei Armed Forces and public and non-governmental agencies. This exhibition highlights the latest equipment and assets acquired by each military branch to further strengthen the capabilities of units in achieving their missions. Additionally, the Defense Industry Exhibition focuses on military developments and innovations regarding land-based equipment that will revolutionize the Royal Brunei Armed Forces in the future by acting as a force multiplier to achieve interoperability in line with the combined arms operations concept, while also showcasing the security equipment needed by security agencies. The exhibition also demonstrates the Royal Brunei Armed Forces' commitment to maintaining national security and defend the sovereignty of Brunei through a whole-of-nation approach with other security agencies. Through this integrated concept, Royal Brunei Armed Forces exploration in developing its capabilities through the latest technology will become the main driving force of the defense industry nucleus in Brunei Darussalam, the involvement of non-governmental agencies and local companies. This defense industry is further expected to support the goals of the 2035 Brunei Vision to achieve dynamic and sustainable economic development. Alongside the exhibition are activities including the Royal Brunei Armed Forces Band performance, Flying Fox, and horse riding activities, all of which are open to the public today and tomorrow. As mentioned earlier on, also in attendance this morning, as we can see on our screen, are members of the royal family, Pangeran-Pangeran Kshatriya, cabinet ministers, members of councils, deputy ministers, Their Excellencies, ambassadors and high commissioners from friendly nations, members of the Legislative Council, and heads of government departments. So again, the Grand Parade, which we will witness this morning, involves a total of 951 personnel from major units of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. And there we have military personnel from friendly nations who are also joining in the celebrations as spectators this morning of the 63rd anniversary of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. Now, touching a little bit on the defense pillars of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, the Royal Brunei Armed Forces will continue supporting the nation's defense aspirations through the Defense White Paper aligned with the Brunei Vision 2035. A clear defense policy is an important aspect to guide and ensure the safety and sovereignty of the country, founded on the principle of Malay Islamic Monarchy, MIB. To achieve this, the objectives are three key national defense pillars being identified. So now we can see the motorcade for the arrival of His Royal Highness Prince General Haji Al-Muhtadibbillah making its way towards the marching grounds of the Penanjong Garrison. And there you have it, the arrival of His Royal Highness Prince General Haji Al-Muhtadibbillah, the Crown Prince and Senior Minister at the Prime Minister's Office and General of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. His Royal Highness is being greeted by Yang Berhormat Bihin Datuk Diraja Retired Major General Datuk Paduka Seri Haji Awang Halbi bin Haji Muhammad Yusof, Minister at the Prime Minister's Office and Second Minister of Defence, as well as Major General Datuk Paduka Seri Haji Muhammad Has Zaimi bin Bol Hassan, Commander of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces.
Hormat Diraja! Hormat! Tidak!
And that was, of course, the royal salute for His Royal Highness Prince General Haji Al-Muhtadibbillah, the Crown Prince and Senior Minister at the Prime Minister's Office and General of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. And now we can see on screen we have the parade commander, that is Lieutenant Colonel Muhammad Ghazali bin Haji Hussein, who plays a very vital role this morning in leading the Grand Parade as well as proceedings of the 63rd anniversary celebration of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. Now, the role of Royal Brunei Armed Forces is to support the country's progress and development by ensuring a peaceful environment is maintained through defense and security. As a pillar of national defense and security, the Royal Brunei Armed Forces acts as an agent and catalyst for unity and integration between security agencies in order to strengthen national stability and peace, while at the same time contribute towards regional and international well-being. This balance in terms of physical and spiritual development based on the concept of MIB, or Malay Islamic Monarchy, are also vital for the integrity and dignity of the nation. In its 63 years, the Royal Brunei Armed Forces has continued to develop and enhance its personnel capacity and capabilities through the enhancement of professional skills, while at the same time glorifying the integrity of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces in line with current global developments. Development of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces since its establishment is a measure of the maturity of this institution. Over the past 6 decades, the Royal Brunei Armed Forces has undergone various challenges and evolutions, particularly in enhancing its role as a catalyst in empowering the country's sovereignty in a more focused, efficient, and capable manner. The Royal Brunei Armed Forces continues its support of the nation's defense through the Defense White Paper aligned with the Brunei Vision 2035. To achieve its objectives, 3 key national defense pillars have been identified, and these are deterrent and response, defense diplomacy, and holistic defense. These 3 defense pillars also form the basis for shaping the national defense posture as an independent and sovereign nation with its own principles. So 951 personnel of the combined Royal Brunei Armed Forces are standing and waiting the arrival of His Majesty the Sultan and Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam, who will be gracing this morning's celebration. And here we can see armored vehicles and assets of the Royal Brunei Land Forces on display for this grand occasion, the 63rd anniversary. We can also see other equipment being held and displayed by personnel of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. So different to previous years, this year's celebration is being held and will begin on the 1st of June. However, the anniversary is being celebrated usually on the 31st of May. The members of the public are able to enjoy activities as well as find out a little bit more about the Royal Brunei Armed Forces today and tomorrow. The defense exhibition for today is open from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. for members of the public, and tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. There will also be a bazaar, a travel fair, and as mentioned, activities to be enjoyed, that is band performances, flying fox, and horse riding activities available to the public from 8 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon. So one of the key highlights is the Solidarity Jump, again taking place this morning at the Royal Brunei Training Institute. This again is a brand new segment and involves representatives of Special Forces parachutists from 11 friendly nations with defense ties to the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. This is the first ever solidarity jump involving Special Forces being held in our country, Brunei Darussalam. And events like these will further strengthen defense diplomacy by recognizing the values of cultural ties between nations. The defense exhibition is divided into two sections, that is the Royal Brunei Armed Forces Capability Exhibition and Defense Industry Exhibition. The theme for the exhibition, Defending the Nation Together.
Paduka Seri Baginda Sultan Haji Hassan Al-Bolkiah Muizzaddin Wad Daula Ibni Almarhum Sultan Haji Omar Ali Saifuddin Sa'adul Khairi Waddin Sultan dan Yang di-Pertuan Negara Brunei Darussalam.
And there we have the announcement of the arrival of His Majesty Sultan Haji Hassan Al-Bolkiah Muizzaddin Wad Daula Ibni Almarhum Sultan Haji Omar Ali Saifuddin Sa'adul Khairi Waddin Sultan and Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam, the Minister of Defense and Supreme Commander of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. And that is the motorcade of His Majesty the Sultan and Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam making its way to the marching grounds of the Penanjong Garrison, where the 63rd anniversary celebrations will be taking place. His Majesty is being greeted by Yang Berhormat Bihindatul Diraja Major General, retired Datuk Paduka Seri Haji Awang Halbi bin Haji Muhammad Yusuf, Minister at the Prime Minister's Office and Second Minister of Defense, and Major General Datuk Paduka Seri Haji Muhammad Has Zaimi bin Bol Hassan, Commander of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. Also in attendance this morning are His Royal Highness Prince Abdul Malik, His Royal Highness Air Force Captain Prince Abdul Mateen. And that was the national anthem of Brunei Darussalam, Allah Peliharakan Sultan. A royal salute upon the arrival of His Majesty. The parade commander, Lieutenant Colonel Muhammad Ghazali bin Haji Hussein, is now approaching the royal dais and shortly will be seeking consent from His Majesty for His Majesty to inspect the Guard of Honor.
Ampun, beribu-ribu ampun. Hamba Wadi Tuan Patik menjunjung perkenan menyembahkan Perbarisan Raksasa sambutan Hari Ulang Tahun Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei ke-63 yang terdiri dari Tentera Darat Diraja Brunei, Tentera Laut Diraja Brunei, Tentera Udara Diraja Brunei, Regimen Pasukan Khas Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei, Gabungan Askar Wanita Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei, rombongan panji-panji Batalion Pertama Tentera Darat Diraja Brunei, Tentera Laut Diraja Brunei, Tentera Udara Diraja Brunei, Gabungan Pancaragam Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei dan kenderaan-kenderaan beserta kelengkapan Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei dalam buka barisan siap untuk diperiksa. Ampun, beribu-ribu ampun.
And His Majesty has consented to inspect the Guard of Honor, comprising 951 personnel from the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. That is the Royal Brunei Land Forces, Royal Brunei Air Force, Royal Brunei Navy, Special Forces Regiment, the Combined Women's Army of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, flag bearers from the 1st Battalion of the Royal Brunei Land Forces, Royal Brunei Air Force, and Royal Brunei Navy, and the Royal Brunei Armed Forces Band, as well as military vehicles and equipment of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. The Royal Brunei Land Forces, comprising 5 officers and 209 personnel, is being led by Lieutenant Colonel Awangku Ridzam Faisal bin Pengiran Haji Saleh. The Royal Brunei Navy, comprising 4 officers and 209 personnel, is led by Commander Pengiran Muhammad Farin bin Pengiran Muhammad Noor. The Royal Brunei Air Force is led by Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Pengiran Muhammad Farisan bin Pengiran Haji Metasan, with 4 officers and 209 Royal Brunei Air Force personnel. The Special Forces Regiment is led by Major Hafizan bin Moksin, with 1 officer and 103 personnel. And the Women's Company, consisting 1 officer and 103 personnel, is led by Air Force Major Maslia bin Nirus. His Majesty has consented to board the special vehicle, which will be driven past the Royal Brunei Armed Forces Band, which will comprises 66 personnel from the Combined Armed Forces, which is being directed by Major Muhammad Idrus bin Haji Awang. The Armed Forces Band is responsible for the orchestral accompaniment for this morning's event. In past titas delivered during Royal Brunei Armed Forces anniversary celebrations, His Majesty has reminded the Royal Brunei Armed Forces to be alert and far-sighted on the future of national defense and security. His Majesty often motivates the Royal Brunei Armed Forces personnel to perform their roles with fortitude and to carry out their operational responsibilities effectively and efficiently. His Majesty has also reminded Royal Brunei Armed Forces personnel that success cannot be achieved solely through physical strength, but real strength based on personal attributes such as loyalty, honesty, reliability, and courage. And now we can see His Majesty has just passed the Royal Brunei Armed Forces Band, once again comprising 66 personnel from the combined armed forces and being directed by Major Muhammad Idris bin Haji Awang. During the Diamond Jubilee celebration of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces back in 2021, His Majesty in a Tita stated that the Royal Brunei Armed Forces should be receptive and adaptable to ongoing advancements, including leveraging cyber technology while simultaneously addressing its potential security risks. As a military force with a limited number of personnel, the Royal Brunei Armed Forces should utilize technological applications as part of its measures to enhance its capabilities. The introduction of the Squadron 29 unmanned aerial system during the 61st anniversary of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces is an example of a technological approach leading to capability enhancement of a force multiplier. His Majesty, at the moment, is now inspecting some of the military vehicles and assets, as well as equipments of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, which includes armored tanks and defense weapons. In the contemporary and increasingly challenging and dynamic operational environment, it is important for the Royal Brunei Armed Forces to remain vigilant and well prepared in terms of capability and capacity to confidently and determinedly face any potential threats. In recent years, the Royal Brunei Armed Forces have been actively implementing various efforts and new initiatives, especially in enhancing modern and more relevant military capabilities. The positive modernization efforts will undoubtedly strengthen the Royal Brunei Armed Forces to remain efficient and effective in achieving the desired objectives. His Majesty there waving to some of the guests and spectators who have gathered here at the Penanjong Garrison. Happy smiling faces, of course, of the young who carry His Majesty very close to their heart as a beloved monarch. Now, through the years, the Royal Brunei Armed Forces have also improved its internal education system through collaboration with relevant parties to equip its members with knowledge and qualifications in line with this vision of being a formidable armed forces and a reliable partner in defending the sovereignty and security of the nation. The special vehicle there making its way back to the royal dais, concluding His Majesty's inspection of the Guard of Honor. If you've just tuned in, this is of course a live TV broadcast and commentary of the 63rd anniversary of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, happening at the Penanjong Garrison in the Tutong district.
Ampun, beribu-ribu ampun. Hamba kebajikan Patik menjunjung anugerah bagi Perbarisan Raksasa berjalan lalu dalam masa perlahan dan cepat. Ampun, beribu-ribu ampun.
The parade commander, Lieutenant Colonel Muhammad Ghazali bin Haji Hussein, has just informed His Majesty that the Guard of Honor will now perform the ceremonial slow and quick march. The march will begin in slow pace, and this is a ceremonial pace where the feet are kept parallel to the ground and the arms are kept stationary.
Dalam tutup barisan. Ke dalam. Terus.
Done with precision. The armed forces there adjusting in preparation of the slow and quick march.
Sudah tidak, bos? Sudah. Sudah tidak.
Beras! Rusong! Tidak! Beras! Akan berjalan lalu dalam masa perlahan dan cepat. Bergerak ke kanan dalam 10 barisan. Ke kanan! Saing! Bukan! Maju mandiri! Bukan! Alulan! Ke kanan! Lalu masa berhenti! Ke kanan! Go! Up! Up!
And so the slow march begins. Once again, this is done at a ceremonial pace where the feet are kept parallel to the ground and the arms are kept stationary. The parade is being led by the Royal Brunei Land Forces, Lieutenant Colonel Awangku Ridzam Faisal bin Pengiran Haji Saleh, comprising 5 officers and 209 personnel. Close behind them is the Royal Brunei Navy, comprising 4 officers and 209 personnel, being led by Commander Pengiran Muhammad Farin bin Pengiran Muhammad Noor. Meanwhile, the Royal Brunei Air Force is led by Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Pengiran Muhammad Farisan bin Pengiran Haji Matasan, with 4 officers and 209 Royal Brunei Air Force personnel. The Special Forces Regiment is led by Major Hafizan bin Moksin, with 1 officer and 103 personnel. And the Women's Company, consisting 1 officer and 103 personnel, is led by Air Force Major Maslia bin Nirus. The Royal Brunei Armed Forces was formed on the 31st of May 1961. Previously known as Askar Melayu Brunei or the Brunei Malay Regiment, it was renamed as the Royal Brunei Malay Regiment in 1965. Since Brunei Darussalam's independence on the 1st of January 1984, Royal Brunei Malay Regiment was renamed as the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. Among the roles of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces are to deter any outside powers intending to undermine directly or indirectly in the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the state, and to prevent any subversive elements, actual or potential, operating in the state. To undertake military operations to counter aggression, terrorism, or insurgency, to assist in maintenance of public order in support of the police and civil authority if called upon, and to maintain good community relations by which the Royal Brunei Armed Forces can be identified with the government and civil population. On the 17th of September 1991, His Majesty the Sultan Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam consented for the reorganization of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. As a result, Royal Brunei Armed Forces was divided into 5 major units, namely the Royal Brunei Land Force, the Royal Brunei Navy, Royal Brunei Air Force, Royal Brunei Special Forces, and the Training Center Royal Brunei Armed Forces. With a vision to produce skilled, efficient, and responsive armed forces, the Royal Brunei Armed Forces continues improving the capacity and capabilities of its personnel through the enhancement of top-quality professional skills, which also elevate the prestige of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. During its 63 years, the efficacy of training and discipline is the foundation that has made the Royal Brunei Armed Forces a strong and professional organization. The foundation continues to be strengthened by the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, which is entrusted with upholding and defending the sovereignty not only of our nation, but the nation's religion and the monarchy, to ensure the country's security and prosperity continues to be enjoyed by the people of Brunei Darussalam. The Royal Brunei Land Forces ethos are for all personnel to be well disciplined at all times, for every Muslim personnel to possess strong faith and religious obedience, all personnel to be loyal to the religion, the monarchy, nation, and the organization. All personnel are to possess integrity, be leaders to themselves, their families, as well as to those who are their subordinates. They are to continue to train and educate themselves in order to be fit to fight, and have initiatives in performing their tasks and responsibilities in solving challenges through wisdom and correct procedure. Now, the Royal Brunei Navy, those in the blue uniform this morning, is the Naval Defense Force of Brunei Darussalam, whose main responsibility is to conduct search and rescue missions and to deter and defend Brunei waters against attacks mounted by seaborne forces. On the 14th of June 1965, 4 years after the formation of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, the Royal Brunei Navy was formed, and it was initially known as the Boat Section. Her strength was only 18 in number, including 1 officer from the 1st Battalion, which attended a basic military course in Malaya in 1961 until 1964. After 10 years, the administration of the 1st Navy moved to a new base at Jalan Tanjung Pelumpong, Muara in 1974. With rapid services development and improvement of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, the name 1st Navy was changed to the Royal Brunei Navy on the 1st of October 1991. The role of the Royal Brunei Navy includes maritime surveillance and response with EEZ, control of maritime focal areas, protection of key national maritime assets and infrastructure, as well as other national tasks. Now, taking a look at a bit of history of the Royal Brunei Air Force, those in the white and grey uniform this morning. The Royal Brunei Air Force was established as the air wing of the Royal Brunei Malay Regiment in 1965. It was first tasked to fly doctors to rural areas with 2 Sikorsky S-55 aircraft, which was operated by pilots from the Worldwide Helicopter Company. In 1967, the unit was renamed as the Helicopter Platoon. The Air Technical Training School was established in 1980. When Brunei assumed responsibility of its own defense from the United Kingdom in 1984, the Air Wing was then expanded. On October 1st, 1991, this marks an important milestone for the Air Wing. With the consent of His Majesty, the Air Wing was officially changed to the Royal Brunei Air Force and declared an independent service of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. The Air Defense Battalion was transferred to the Royal Brunei Air Force on the 24th of March 1995 and given the name Air Defense Squadron. The vision and mission of the Royal Brunei Air Force are to deliver robust, responsive, and resource-efficient air force, and to deliver air power in defense of Brunei Darussalam and its interests. And there we have it. The march past has now transitioned to the quick march. Now, the development of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces since its establishment is a measure of the maturity of an institution. Over the past 6 decades, Royal Brunei Armed Forces has undergone various challenges, changes, and evolutions, particularly in enhancing its role as a catalyst in empowering the country's sovereignty in a more focused, efficient, and capable manner. The Royal Brunei Armed Forces will continue supporting the nation's defense aspirations through the Defense White Paper aligned with the Brunei Vision 2035. A clear defense policy is an important aspect to guide and ensure the safety and sovereignty of the country, founded on the principles of Malay Islamic Monarchy, Melayu Islam Diraja. To achieve this objective, 3 key national defense pillars have been identified, namely deterrent and response, defense diplomacy, and holistic defense. And as the Royal Brunei Armed Forces carry out the quick march, we can hear the Royal Brunei Armed Forces band playing the birthday song in celebration of the 63rd anniversary, or rather birthday, of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. Now, the 3 national defense pillars also form the basis for shaping national defense posture as an independent and sovereign nation with its own principles. Deterrent and response is a crucial strategy to prevent and respond to threats to national security, whether from within or outside the country. Through the evolution of defense capabilities, the Royal Brunei Armed Forces continuously enhances its effectiveness in deterring threats by the ability to detect threats through continuous surveillance of strategic locations by specialized personnel and utilizing suitable technological assets. The Royal Brunei Armed Forces is also capable of executing appropriate responses to any threats according to established guidelines more efficiently through the use of existing and newly acquired assets, those as on display today. The security assurance of a nation does not solely depend on military capabilities. Instead, having strong defense, diplomacy, and foreign countries is important to prevent threats through understanding and cooperation, to build confidence and trust, capable of mitigating threats and avoiding conflicts. Brunei Darussalam has been aware of this, and for a long time, especially in today's era, where the importance of defense diplomacy cannot be overlooked, given the challenges of the VUCA world, comprising vulnerable, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. The atmosphere of uncertainty arises from rapid changes, the dynamic impact of VUCA and borderless challenges require close cooperation among friendly nations. The Royal Brunei Armed Forces is also committed to enhancing defense diplomacy with friendly foreign armed forces, whether bilaterally or multilaterally, through the provision of courses, joint exercises, information sharing, personnel exchanges, and joint operations, including providing humanitarian assistance to affected friendly nations through cooperation platforms such as ASEAN Humanitarian Assistance, AHA, and ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting, ADMM, committed to maintaining security and stability in the region. Holistic defense outlines a comprehensive and integrated approach to national security, particularly through a whole-of-government approach. And there we have it, the conclusion of both the slow and quick march, a ceremonial parade in conjunction with the 63rd anniversary celebrations of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. And here we see the Guard of Honor readjusting themselves. Shortly, we will witness the Guard of Honor advancing forward to be re-inspected. And there we have the Guard of Honor advancing forward for re-inspection.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ampun beribu-ribu ampun. Upacara sambutan ulang tahun Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei ke-63 segera dimulakan dengan menjemput Yang Mulia Pemerintah Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei untuk menjunjung perkenan kehadapan Majlis ke bawah Duli Yang Maha Mulia Paduka Seri Baginda Sultan Haji Hassanah Bolkiah Muizzaddin Wad Daulah Ibni Almarhum Sultan Haji Omar Ali Saifuddin Saadul Khairi Waddin, Sultan dan Yang di-Pertuan Negara Brunei Darussalam bagi pengurniaan titah.
And there we have His Majesty the Sultan and Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam has consented to deliver a titah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wa bihi nasta'inu ala umuri dunya wa din. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil mursalin. Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Wa ba'd. Alhamdulillah, bersyukur kita kehadrat Allah Subhanahu wa taala kerana dapat sama-sama hadir pada pagi ini bagi meraihkan sambutan Hari Ulang Tahun Angkatan Bersenjata Brunei yang ke-63 tahun dalam keadaan negara menikmati suasana aman, damai dan sejahtera. Di kesempatan istimewa ini, Beta mengucapkan tahniah pada seluruh anggota Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei, baik yang masih berkhidmat maupun yang telah bersara. Setinggi-tinggi tahniah juga atas perbarisan yang membanggakan sebentar tadi. Yang melambangkan kesiapsiagaan Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei dalam menunaikan tanggungjawabnya terhadap agama, raja, bangsa dan negara. Alhamdulillah, lebih 6 dekad penubuhannya, Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei terus berkembang dengan pesatnya Beta bangga dan bersyukur atas perkembangan positif mengikut perancangan khasnya perancangan bagi tahun 2023 dan 2024, antaranya berupa penstrukturan unit jentera tempur menjadi Regimen Jurutera Engineer Regiment Tentera Darat Diraja Brunei. Pertauliahan kapal tentera laut Diraja Brunei, KDB Asidik dan KDB Al-Faruq, dan pengenalan aset baharunya iaitu Unmanned Underwater Vehicle UUV. Sementara itu, Tentera Udara Diraja Brunei pula telah menerima 2 buah dari 4 buah pesawat angkut C-295MW dan insya-Allah dalam masa terdekat juga akan menerima pesawat helikopter tempur baharu yang bagi menggantikan pesawat Volko BO-105. Selain itu, markas Angkatan bersama Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei juga akan menaik taraf keupayaan sistem C41 Star-nya. Beta penuh yakin bahawa dengan terus fokus dan komited, maka apa yang dirancang akan tercapai. Dengan Kementerian Pertahanan dan Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei berupaya menjadi tauladan baik pada kerajaan beta dalam perancangan, pengurusan dan pelaksanaan projek yang tulus, jujur dan berkesan. Dari sudut pengambilan anggota tentera pula, beta mahu Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei akan memberikan tumpuan dan penelitian mendalam. Beta difahamkan bahawa terdapat cabaran bagi mencapai jumlah anggota tentera yang diperlukan pada setiap tahun, khususnya bagi Sekolah Pegawai Kadet Akademi Pertahanan Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei dan Company Recruit Institute Latihan Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei. Pada tahun 2023, pemohon yang lulus pemilihan mengikut kota yang disediakan di Sekolah Pegawai Kadet cuma sebanyak 57% sahaja, manakala 78% pula bagi company rekrut. Cabaran atau trend ini jika berterusan akan menjejaskan penstrukturan Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei ke arah matlamat gagasan Angkatan 2035. Oleh itu, beta sarankan supaya pihak Kementerian Pertahanan dan pihak berkepentingan di dalam negara untuk bekerjasama dalam menyiapkan laluan di kalangan belia yang berminat untuk berkhidmat dengan Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei. Selain dari mengasah kekuatan tempurnya, Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei juga telah berjaya mengembang luaskan lagi diplomasi pertahanannya melalui kerjasama dengan Angkatan Tentera negara-negara sahabat di peringkat ASEAN, serantau dan antarabangsa, dengan wujudnya hubungan erat di antara Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei dengan Angkatan Tentera sahabat di rantau ini khasnya dan antarabangsa UMNO akan dapat memantapkan lagi keupayaan dan persefahaman melalui kegiatan exercise dan aktiviti dua hala serta pelbagai hala. Persembahan penerjun-terjun payung bebas solidariti dari unit elit atau pasukan khusus 11 buah angkatan bersenjata negara sahabat yang memeterai memorandum persefahaman dengan Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei dan pameran industri pertahanan daripada 20 buah negara sebagai salah satu acara sambutan pagi ini adalah jelas mencerminkan terjalinnya perpaduan dan diplomasi pertahanan yang kukuh. Beta ucapkan penghargaan kepada negara-negara sahabat yang turut serta dalam solidariti jam dan pameran industri pertahanan pada kali ini. Keceriaan acara sambutan Hari Ulang Tahun ke-63 ini turut diwarnai dengan kehadiran pegawai-pegawai kanan dan anggota tentera dari Royal Guards Special Force, Bahrain Defence Force yang sedang membuat latihan bersama Exercise Ahmad Storm dengan regimen pasukan khas Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei di negara ini. Beta juga sangat gembira atas kehadiran dan keterlibatan penuh semangat anggota Persatuan Bekas Prajurit Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei Perwira dan juga semasa sambutan Hari Kebangsaan Negara Brunei Darussalam yang ke-40 tahun. Beta ucapkan setinggi-tinggi penghargaan dan terima kasih atas komitmen dan sumbangan yang berterusan kepada negara walaupun telah bersara dari perkhidmatan. Tahun ini juga adalah merupakan ulang tahun penubuhan Kementerian Pertahanan yang ke-40 tahun dan dalam masa 4 dekad itu, alhamdulillah, Kementerian Pertahanan telah berjaya mengemudi dengan baik Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei. Akhirnya, beta ucapkan terima kasih dan tahniah kepada semua ahli jawatan kuasa sambutan pada tahun ini dan semua yang terlibat dalam perbarisan pagi ini. Beta turut mendoakan agar Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei akan sentiasa dalam pemeliharaan dan perlindungan Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Sekian, wabillahi taufik wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And that was the Tita of His Majesty, the Sultan and Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam in conjunction with the 63rd anniversary of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces.
Tiga kali daulat untuk Kebawah Duli Yang Maha Mulia Paduka Seri Baginda Sultan dan Yang di-Pertuan Negara Brunei Darussalam. Daulat Kebawah Duli Tuan Patek. Daulat Kebawah Duli Tuan Patek. Daulat Kebawah Duli Tuan Patek.
Doa selamat akan dibacakan oleh Yang Mulia Pemangku Pengarah Jabatan Arah Agama Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei.
Amin, amin, amin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. La ilaha illallahul halimul karim. Subhanallahi Rabbil arshil azim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillahilladzi nasarakum wa a'azzakum wa akramakum. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. Wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahil aliyil azim. Allahumma inna nastaudi'uka wa nastahfizuka jalalatal malik. Ke bawah duli yang maha mulia, Paduka Seri Baginda Sultan Haji Hasan Al-Bulqiyah Mu'izzaddin wad Daulah Ibni Almarhum Sultan Haji Umar Ali Saifuddin Sa'adul Khairi Waddin Sultan dan yang di-Pertuan Negara Brunei Darussalam, Wasumul Amir wa Waliyul Ahd, duli yang teramat mulia Paduka Seri Pangeran Muda Mahkota Pangeran Muda Haji Al-Muhtadi Billah Ibni ke bawah duli yang maha mulia Paduka Seri Baginda Sultan Haji Hasan Al-Bulqiyah Mu'izzaddin wad Daulah, Menteri Kanan di Jabatan Perdana Menteri. Wa ahlahu wa auladahu wa qarabatahu wa ra'iyatahu wal hadirina wal muslimina ajma'in. Allahumma ya mu'ayyidu ya mu'in. Mohon ya Allah, jadikanlah hari ulang tahun ke-63 Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei hari yang diturunkan rahmat dan berkat, hari mulia, hari menyatukan azam yang kukuh, sentiasa kekal sebagai pemangkin untuk terus bersemangat tinggi, berbakti dan berjihad pada memelihara dan mempertahankan agama kami, agama Islam, maruah negara yang kami cintai, negara Brunei Darussalam, daripada anasir-anasir yang merosakkan akidah agama kami, ketentraman dan kesenangan hidup kami. Allahumma ya Allah, kami bermohon agar dijadikan seluruh warga Angkatan Bersenjata Diraja Brunei menjadi hamba-hamba Tuhan kami yang salihin dan salihat, serta sentiasa diikhlaskan untuk menjalankan tugas serta menanai setiap tugasan sebagai amanah dan ibadah semata-mata kerana Allah Subhanahu wa taala dan disaluti dengan keimanan dan ketakwaan. Allahumma ja'al mamlakatahu negara Brunei Darussalam ma'muratan bittaqaddumi wassalam wal adli wassalahi wal barakati bainal anam warrakha'i wal amni wan nasri wasaira biladil Islam. Allahumma arinal haqqa haqqan warzuqna ittiba'ah wa arinal batila batila warzuqna ijtinabah birahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilaik. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wasallam. Amin, amin, amin. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil alamin.
And that was the Doa Selamat recited by the Acting Director of Religious Affairs of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. And prior to that, 3 cheers of Daulat Kebah Duli Tuan Patik echoing through the Penanjong Garrison. And now the parade commander, Lieutenant Colonel Muhammad Ghazali bin Haji Hussein, will inform His Majesty that the ceremony is ready to proceed to the next segment.
Ampun, beribu-ribu ampun. Hamba Kebah Duli Tuan Patik menjunjung anugerah bagi Perbarisan Raksasa menjalankan tugas seterusnya. Ampun, beribu-ribu ampun.
And His Majesty has given His Majesty's consent for the ceremony to proceed to the next segment.
Belas! Nusa
that was the national anthem, Allah Peliharakan Sultan, accompanied by a flypast of assets from the Air Force, that is 6 helicopters and 1 fighter jet, marking the end of the Grand Parade of the 63rd anniversary celebrations of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. So as this morning's Grand Parade draws to a close, let us carry forth the spirit of unity and enthusiasm as exhibited by our armed forces. His Majesty and members of the royal family will now proceed to witness the solidarity jump at the Royal Brunei Armed Forces Training Institute. So once again, this solidarity jump involves representatives of Special Forces parachutists from 11 friendly nations with defense ties to the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, who will jump from a height of 10,000 feet from C-295 aircraft and land on the Royal Brunei Armed Forces Training Institute football field. After which, His Majesty will then consent to view the defense exhibition, which showcases 2 exhibition sections consisting of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces Capability Exhibition and the Defense Industry Exhibition. And here we see His Majesty the Sultan and Yang di-Pertuan Brunei Darussalam and members of the royal family are now departing the marching grounds of the Penanjong Garrison. And with the departure of His Majesty, as well as members of the royal family from the marching grounds of the Penanjong Garrison, we conclude our live commentary for yet another milestone for the Royal Brunei Armed Forces as they celebrate 63 years. My name is Amy Cheong, and from all of us here at the Penanjong Garrison in the Tutong district and from every corner of Brunei Darussalam, we wish a happy 63rd anniversary to the Royal Brunei Armed Forces. Thank you for joining this live commentary today. May peace, prosperity, and progress continue.
Lihat di sana gagah perkasa, berbaris megah di medan bakti. Pahlawan bangsaku berhemah tinggi, mendukung keamanan sejati. Mahkota negaraku pertahankan, marah terus membela Nusa. Gagah perkasa darah warisan, pantang undur dalam berjuang. Andanya gugur pahlawanku, pengorbananmu suci demi negara. Aman rohanimu penuh kesucian, jasamu tak luput ditelan zaman. Jiwa besarmu jadi tauladan, ususuli